Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Crystal Newman and it's good to have you here with me. I hope you're staying home and staying safe, at least until the lockdown is lifted here in Uganda. On Crystal One-on-One today, I would like to welcome my guest, the country manager of Chipper Cash, that is Dan Tumuramye. He joins me on the show. Dan, how are you doing?
Fine, Crystal. How are you doing?
I am very good, actually. I'm very good. I'm happy about the news that for some of us who are not essential services will be able to move around again.
Okay, it was very, very good news. First of all, thank you for hosting me on your show and the opportunity to talk to our cheaper customers, those that we already have as our users and those we intend to onboard. Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things that we were laughing about yesterday was that, you know, as a financial service, you were able to still be able to move, to go into town. So you were telling me about your work days that was split between home and being on the move, sometimes heading into town. How has that been for you? Because I imagine, number one, you've been enjoying no traffic.
Yeah. So thank you. We are going through tough times economically, as we can call them. The pandemic has hit the entire economy. However, financial services, where we fall, we've been able to make sure that our customers are serviced very well, and we were given the opportunity by the government to continue our operations because the government made sure that COVID-19, given the fact that it is a disease or it is a pandemic that comes through touching, so and money was part of the might be causes of COVID if you're to touch using dirty money. So us in the financial sector, we've been actually working because the government has been pushing for virtual and e-value to move around as the most preferred means of moving money and transfers.
Yes. That is something that was emphasized right at the beginning. And it's funny how when you look at other parts of the world, how people have been doing that for the longest time. I mean, there are certain countries you travel to and people say, I can't remember the last time I handled cash. But as an economy that's still very cash heavy, it's been a learning curve, and it's nice to know that there are all these different options available, for example, the cash as well. But before we get into that, I would like to know about you, Dan. I would like to know, are you Ugandan number one? How long have you been country manager for Chipper Cash?
Yeah, thank you, Crystal. First of all, I need to make my identity clear. I'm born Ugandan, and I've lived in Uganda for all my years. Of course, I moved out for studies, but I've been in Uganda for all my years. And career-wise, I began my career in insurance as one of the industries, and I majored generally in medical insurance. So I was working with Case Medical Care through their in-house insurance company, which is called Medcare. And I stayed at Case for close to 3.5 years. Thereafter, I enrolled for my master's in India because I've always believed that business has been done well by Indians. And if you see majority of the most successful CEOs, if you look at the big brands, the Googles and and Pepsi and all that, majority of their CEO internationally, they're Indians. So I enrolled for an MBA in business in India. And right after the MBA, it was a 2-year program. I then moved back. I joined Airtel Uganda. That time, Airtel had just acquired Wari Telecom. So I did so many years with Airtel, and I did close to 7 years at Airtel. And I grew up the ranks at Airtel. And from the Airtel experience that I gained, I then moved to Chipper Cash last year.
Ah,
So I picked my experience and love for digital from Airtel.
Okay. I find it interesting that you started in medical insurance and now we're on this cross-border money transfer platform. But what you said about India, because you said you've always believed that, you know, at least the Asians have a very good handle on business.
True.
By going there and studying there, was that actually true? Were there some principles that you picked up that you wish actually we would actually employ, you know, to make us better in business?
Yeah, my time in India, and it's a very interesting journey while I was in India, because the international university that I was in, I was the only African student. However, going to
wait, how big was this university?
Oh, it's huge. It's in the top 10 in India. It's huge. It's huge. We had close to 120 MBA students for my year.
Okay, and you are the only African.
Exactly. Yeah. But what I picked out of my time in India is that business success is about collaboration and partnerships, and it starts way back from their families. So you realize that the Indians save as families. So the business is not led by one individual. Yes, you can have the face of the business, but then the investment and the decisions are taken as a family. So that gave me an insight on why they're very successful. Because usually when you're a sole proprietor, you tend to move with your ideas, and then you fall in love with your ideas. Then if the ideas phase out, then the business automatically dies. So however, for the Indians, they usually, everything they do, including their lifestyle, their weddings, their investments, they do as a family, and that gives a business a good stability, not to collapse. Yeah.
Okay. So now we understand a bit more about, you know, why they're so good at business. But in terms of like education, coming from Uganda, you said you were here the entire time. You've grown up the majority of time apart from leaving to study. Did you have any issues being able to adjust to the learning environment, or did you feel like you had a good base with our Ugandan education system here?
Now, I would like to appreciate the Ugandan education system. It's very robust. It gives you, it grounds you on on the expectations you might meet out of Uganda. And I didn't find any challenges while I was in India, given the background that I'd done my bachelor's in Makerere University, and then I moved on to doing the master's. However, the emphasis on doing the master's is always particular to a person who has some working experience. So when you're fresh from campus and then you do your master's program, it's always very tricky to merging. So they really promote that you need to have a little working experience, which I had at that time because I was in the finance department of Case Medical Care. So I had already that experience, which gave me a good ground.
Okay, because some people feel like, you know, once they get to school, they want to finish it all in one go. So they'll do the bachelor's or do their master's, and then they start looking for employment. But a lot of the things that you need are what you learn in the field, essentially. Okay, so you leave India and you come back.
Yeah.
You, at that point, had you already been searching for a job? Was there something that was lined up for you? Did you use your contacts, your networks, to be able to find something?
Yeah, that's a good one. While I was at Case Medical Center, which is now a hospital, I think one of the biggest, I made sure that I create relationship, and medical insurance gives you the capacity to work on your relationship marketing skills. So when and one of the unique clients that I was working with while at Case was Airtel Uganda. So Airtel was an international company with their insurance company from South Africa and India, a collaboration of both the two. So when I came back from my studies, I had the opportunity to get information from the corporates that I was working with, because the services that I'd given them when I was still working, I promised that when I come back, I'll continuously serve them. So I took a step not to go back. There was an opportunity for me to join a Case Medical Hospital again, but then I opted to now use my extra skills to get into a new industry, that was telecom. So I didn't use any networks. I applied like any normal applicant. And the beauty is that at the time when I came back, that's the time when Airtel needed more human resource, when they had signed up Wari Telecom. So I used that opportunity and window, and then I showcased my experience there.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Airtel could have picked something interesting, because Airtel originally is from India. It's a Bharti group. So I think I made sure that during the interview, I really bring out that scope that I gained while in India, and I think it worked well.
Ah, okay. Okay, yeah, that's important. So you leveraged a lot of the relationships that you'd already built, and then you made sure that you showed how you'd be valuable. Okay. So you come back, you start working with Airtel. You were with them for 7 years. You said 7 years? A lot of people feel that, as Africa, many countries in Africa, we are still so far behind. Is that actually true?
Not really for digital payments, mainly with mobile money. Because going to your question, Airtel is a very innovative company, and while there, I saw a lot of evolution of one, the internet, two, the mobile money space, three, and the data packages that we are having. So Airtel gives you an exposure to know the kind of customers that the business is looking at, because today data is taking up majority of the use cases on the mobile phone alongside mobile money, and that has been evolving all through the past 5 years. But now, going to saying that they say Africa is we are backward, given the fact that majority of our countries are low developed. With mobile money, it's way different. If you look at the reports that have been written around mobile money, take a case of Kenya. Kenya, with its M-Pesa, has shown that Africa can give birth to a very exciting and robust company like Safaricom. So if you realize, majority of Europe and some parts of America, there's no mobile money. They only have mobile banking. But with mobile money, and I would be very, very happy to say that I think we are the mobile money is an African product, because we are using it more. Research shows that every 53% of every Ugandans at least transact once a month on mobile money.
Okay. I think we need to keep celebrating things like that, because it is an African story. Mobile money is very much an African story. And to see how it has, especially with M-Pesa, how it is, some people only use M-Pesa. It's nice to see that we can get there, definitely as Uganda. So you come back, you work with Airtel, and then this opportunity for you to move to Chipper Cash opened up. How did that happen exactly?
Like I've told you, for the 7 years at Airtel, I grew up the ranks, and I did more in sales and distribution. Then later I switched to project management. I was the face behind managing the Airtel Ketu relationship. So I was rubbing shoulders with the big shots. And later I was happy and privileged to be part of the team that launched the merchant payments for Airtel Money Pay. And Airtel Money Pay is the other side of MTN, that is Momo Pay. So while there was a lot of learning in digital payments and financial inclusion, and that is when Chipper looked out for me, and then I joined Chipper.
Okay. Okay, all right. Now, when you're talking about, over the years, you were rising through the ranks. There are some people who, for some reason or other, get stuck in their positions, or they feel that they're not, making any headway. What would you say, was your secret, or what are the things that you did to make sure that you constantly kept rising and accessing better opportunities?
Yeah, thank you very much. One of the recommendations I would give, mainly from my learnings, is one, you need to have, as the brands and the companies work for have values. You as a person, you also need to have your values listed, and anything that comes out of your values, you know that it's not good for you. And one of the values I've always moved around with is one is integrity and ethics. So alongside your academia, alongside your experience, you always have to build trust. One, from the teams you work with, two, the leadership, and the entire political circle of the organization. So once you achieve that, I'm very confident that you will move up the ranks, because you'll be loved. You'll be, whatever you do, given the fact that you have the values that you follow, you'll always be in the good books. And then secondly, I've also been privileged, like I say, to work on projects. I love new things. I love to start things. I love things that start. I'm not, even career has risks. Yeah, but I always look at new things starting. Why? Because new things are always fresh in the mind of a customer. But then doing something repetitively, it becomes monotonous, and then you lose the track while there. So I've been that person who, when I'm called upon for a new project, I just put on my shoes and then get there. So ethics, integrity, building trust, and alongside personal development, you need to be learning a lot from so many angles of the globe. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing that. I mean, it's very scary times for a lot of people right now. Some people are losing jobs, some people aren't too sure, what lies ahead. And you touched on personal development, making sure that, you're constantly fine-tuning your skills and adding value, I think, as well. So you joined Chipper Cash. And Chipper Cash is founded by two people, from what I've learned, one a Ugandan. Maybe you could tell me a little bit about the founders.
Yeah, Chipper Cash is quite an interesting company. And the idea was born by two gentlemen. One is called Ham Serunjoji. Serunjoji is a typical grounded Muganda. And he was privileged also to do his academics from the US. And then he found, while at university, he made friends with another gentleman from Ghana called Majid. Now, Majid and Ham decided to form what we call now Chipper Cash. Now, the reason behind them forming Chipper Cash was they realized that there were so many challenges in Africa where they come from. I think to get transfers to themselves, because when you're doing education from abroad, including myself, it was always tricky to get upkeep in that line, or to get tuition sent through, not in a traditional bank. So they thought that building Chipper Cash would be a best solution to solve that challenge that Africans are finding. So they came up with Chipper Cash, which is a very interesting company to work for.
Okay. And where was it initially launched in? Which country?
Now, Chipper Cash has a parent company called Critical Ideas. So our home is San Francisco, California. But it was launched in Uganda first, and then it moved to the other 7 countries. Presently, we are in 7 countries. We're in Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Ghana, Nigeria, and we last launched South Africa. So the first country of launch was Uganda.
Okay. Yeah. And over this time, you've had about 1 million downloads. 1 million people are now using Chipper Cash. Now, the first question I would probably ask you would be that, okay, so there have been different digital platforms that have launched over time. And I imagine in the world today, you're constantly looking to see, what works and learn from other platforms. So what are you doing differently? Let me start there. As Chipper Cash, what makes it different? Because you talked about the need. It is addressing a serious need. Money transfer, especially from one country to another, is so expensive. Yeah. But what are you doing differently?
So Chipper Cash, through its founders and the challenges they saw that we are facing as Africans, what we're doing differently is we are innovating differently. For example, cross-border making transfer of money from point A to point B borderless was one of the technologies that we came up with. So initially, there were so many channels that money used to move, but those were physical infrastructure channels. For example, one had to go to a forex bureau, one had to go to the bank, one had to go to
Western Union or...
Yes, exactly. And I remember a scenario while I was in India, they had to send me money and they had to put it in a parcel and put these other so many unnecessary documents, and then the money was inserted inside there by my mom. So really, Chipper Cash making a transfer of money from point A to point B borderless is one of the unique identifiers that we have. And plus making it free, because we don't charge a penny for moving money from Uganda to Kenya, from moving money in any country that we are operating.
Yeah. Okay. So that could actually be one of the things that you have taken as a learning, because it is so expensive to send money. I mean, and the fact that, there's a charge on either end for sending and then sometimes even receiving as well. It's kind of crazy to imagine that you can send money from your Chipper Cash wallet here in Uganda to someone in South Africa and they'll get all of it. So that's pretty amazing. But it's also a service that is really, really easy. So I imagine just developing the app took some time to get it to be as easy as it is right now.
True. Yeah, true. You're right. So we have made sure that one, we've made sure that moving money or transfer of money is like sending a text. So when you send a text and that person has network, you will get it immediately. However, gone are the days when we needed 24 hours, 72 hours to receive the money, and even when it comes, you need verification, identification. You need to sign here, sign there. So yes, the platform was it took time to build. And that time it took really made sure that when it's launched, which we already did, it's really seamless, simple, affordable, and easy to use for the customers.
Yes, simple, easy, affordable, big time. Yeah. And also, I'd like to ask, like, after joining Chipper Cash, I mean, whenever you launch something new, in different countries, you have different responses. Here in Uganda, how has the response been, and have there been any surprise developments along the way?
Yeah, Uganda, I really appreciate Uganda, including myself. As Ugandans, we are early adopters, and we are also price sensitive. I know very much of people who drive from their homes to go and fuel their vehicles from a particular petrol station because of the price. So we're very, very price sensitive. And then they forget the distance it takes to go to that gas station. So we have that in mind as Chipper Cash. So Ugandans have really, really adopted Chipper Cash. It is a gradual step that they are taking. And we're working towards ensuring that we meet all the digital needs of Ugandans. And in any case, I would really, really recommend from this call that Ugandans should join Chipper Cash. And the government is promoting Bubu, Buy Uganda, Build Uganda. Chipper Cash is one of those babies that we are building. It's a Ugandan, it's an African, and it's something that has come to solve a problem that we have been having in Africa.
Yes, to address a problem that Africans have. So
Exactly.
when you, because now we talked about the fact that you already have 1 million downloads, Chipper Cash is growing really, really fast. I've seen that in other countries, for example, in Nigeria, there are a lot more services actually that are available off the platform, things that you can do. Because right now you can, of course, send money, it's free, and then you can actually buy airtime as well with discounts as well.
Yeah.
I think a 2% discount. So are you looking at eventually also adding more services on the Chipper Cash platform?
Yes, of course. Where we are now as Chipper Cash, we are a young company, and we build products according to our customer insights. So and we very much know that Africa is becoming a global economy. We are becoming one home. So what serves a Nigerian would in any case digitally serve a Ugandan. So yes, we have airtime now. We have cross-border transfers. We have local P2P. Yes, we are planning to extend so many services in industries that include digital payments. We are going to launch in merchant payments, where our customers can be able to cash out at merchant points, both online and physical stores. And we are launching in every financial service that a customer wants, be it insurance, be it savings, be it investment. We are going to launch that. And investment is very, very critical, because now Ugandans and Africans at large, we've learned how to save, given the COVID scenario that we're in.
I hope we remember it. I hope we remember it.
It has been a learning season, so we have learned it a bad way.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But also this has been a time where, I mean, the fact that we have been limited in movement, the whole world has changed, travel. I mean, we need platforms like this to make sure that businesses can continue to thrive, because it's not just a personal, need that needs to be filled. This works for a lot of businesses as well. So, so what you just said actually takes me to, where do you see like Chipper Cash in a year from now? For Ugandans, where do you see it fitting in?
Yeah, so again, Crystal, a year is too short for a plan. And I would be very confident to tell you that Chipper Cash is here to stay. Our drive is to unlock the global opportunities and bring Africa together. And by doing that, we are taking one transaction at a go. So now we build solutions that cause an impact in the livelihood of Africans. So like I've said, a year is short, but you are going to continuously hear about Chipper Cash. I'm very proud that you are already a user, and you are going to hear about Chipper Cash 2020, 2021, until infinity. We are here to stay. We are not going anywhere.
Okay, that's wonderful to hear. That's wonderful. Yeah. So at the moment, we've talked about 7 African countries. Are there plans to bring on a lot more countries over the next, the next development phase, should I say?
Yeah, thank you very much. We have a plan. We have a growth plan and expansion, and that growth plan is driven by the remittances we're seeing, the inbound transactions we're seeing. You will appreciate that the entire world is having a migration. People are migrants in different countries, and Uganda specific, we have seen a lot of remittances from our brothers and sisters, our parents that work abroad, and want to meet expenses back here at home, such as school fees, rent, businesses, and so many activities around there. So we are working towards expanding, going by the global remittance wave. So if the more inbound transaction, it is a business opportunity for us, because since now we've managed to become experts in cross-border and borderless transactions, we shall be able to open channels and open countries to open countries and borders, where open markets where remittances are done back here in Uganda.
Okay. Well, happy to hear that. Very, very happy to hear that. Well, Dan, thank you so much for joining me on Crystal One-on-One, and for letting me know more about, your position and your work with Chipper Cash. Any final words? Because a lot of people are like, okay, yeah, this is amazing. It's pretty amazing. I think we need to emphasize the fact that, sending and requesting money is free. That's such a big deal. That's such a big deal. And not within Uganda, but across all these countries. But anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, it's just a promise that I should make to the customers. One, please use Chipper Cash. It is a fast, secure, and easy to use application. And two, sorry, I lost a little. And two, being secure to use, we have a very, very interesting products and use cases. And if you've used it, I know you've used it, Crystal, you'll be one of the best testimonies we have. We have a function called request cash. I think you've seen it.
Yes.
Usually we've seen people request for calls, call me back, and they beep. So we have a very interesting function that request for a payment. So I can remind you through a request payment as Crystal, and then by tap of a button, money moves from your wallet to my wallet. So it's a very, very interesting function I would appreciate people to use. And I'm very, very confident to tell you that as Chipper Cash, our incubation is very, very interesting. We do things with utmost faith, and we do things first time right. So the next product we are going to launch, I'm very confident we are going to be the first people to launch it, and it will be a global product. So keep watching, keep your money with Chipper and transact with Chipper Cash.
All right. Thank you so much again, Dan. Pleasure talking to you. And yes, we'll be waiting to see all the new developments with Chipper Cash.
Thank you, Krista.
Much love to your family and to all the assistants I know who are in the background there.
Yeah. So that's what COVID has taught us: working from home, spending time with family, and then getting the family to appreciate what it means to work from home and getting the income in that line.
Yes, yeah. Your children see you in a completely different light now. Before
Exactly.
you just go to work and come back, and they have an idea, but it's nice that they get to see you actually, on the clock. It's challenging sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an education for the whole family, I think.
Yeah, I've not found it challenging. I've really enjoyed it because our young chaps are very interesting. They challenge you. You get to know them. You get to know it's been a month plus while in the lockdown, but it's been a learning and a development for both us, the parents, and then our siblings and the children.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much, Christy.